there's going to be some people joining us. Thank you for those of you who are joining us. As you can see, I'm joined by a few different faces. We've got Alan Johns. Alan, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good, thanks, Bash. Really excited to be here.
Good man. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing what expertise you got. Of course, we've got another new face, James Bowen. James, how's things your side, bud?
All good, thanks, Bash. Gutted to be missing out on the festival, but yeah, I'm reviewing it with you anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that's the next step down, isn't it? You can't ride, but you can be here instead. And
Yeah,
of course, we're joined by our resident Racing Breaks ambassador, Ruby. Ruby, how's things? Are you over in Cheltenham already?
I think I'm here, Bash. I think
Oh, we've lost him. We've lost Ruby. Man down. Man down. Okay, we will wait for Ruby to rejoin. And whilst we're doing that, I will just explain how this preview is going to work. So it's going to be a bit different. Instead of just looking at race by race, because that's been done plenty of times, we're each going to have a bit of a competitor tipster-like game where we will each pick a horse. Now, we can't all pick the same horse. So if I pick Constitution Hill, Constitution Hill cannot be picked by any other person. So by the end of the preview, each of us will have a team of 7 different horses compared to the next person. We will have 3 points for a winner, 2 points for second, and 1 point for first. But before we get on, just a bit of housekeeping. This preview is in association with the Basher Watts Racing Syndicate. So if you would like to become a racehorse owner, I would love to have you on board. Drop me a DM on any of my socials or head over to basherwattsracing.com. But I think we're going to do this in age order, starting from the youngest. So, James, the floor is yours, mate. We're going to have a minute maximum to give our reasonings behind each selection. Who are you going to pick as your first horse and why?
okay, I've got a few down here, so I'm going to go for Walking on Air in the Kimyor to start with. He was going to win the Sky Bet last time. I actually rode him first time over fences for Henderson. He looked like he was well handicapped last time, and I think he'll go well at Cheltenham in the Kimyor.
Nice. Big selection. We thought we were going to be fighting out for the odds-on shots to start off with, and James starts off with Walking on Air. Love that. I will go next, and I am going to go for Margeborough in the Arkle. For me, he takes all the beating, by far the best horse in the race. If he keeps upright on all 4 legs, he will win the Arkle. It's as simple as that. Alan, your first horse, please, bud.
Nothing too original from me, but as Constitution Hill hasn't been picked yet, I'm going to go with him. I think he's had a good season. He's had a couple of runs. He's had a gallop. He's had videos of him schooling shown. He seems in good health. Obviously a generational horse, and I think he will win. And hopefully with brighter days ahead and a good gallop and her posting a big number last time, it could be, he could post his best career performance here if he's as good as he used to be.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I get it. It seems to be a little bit like mind games from the Henderson camp this year, I think. Ruby, who are you going for as your first pick, buddy?
there's no way spearheading on this. It's just winners, isn't it?
Just winners. We want winners.
Yeah. Gallop in the shop, win the Gold Cup. Best horse in the race. Only danger was supplemented yesterday. I know the way you're thinking, but he probably wants a bit slower ground. So to get me 3 points as a flyer, I'm going to go with Gallop in the shop.
Love that. Okie dokie. Hopefully that's 4 winners to start us off with. James, who's your second selection here, bud?
Kopek to board. I know he's short price, but favourite. I rode against him last time in Leopardstown, and he was very impressive. He tore the whole field apart. So I'd be surprised if there's a better one than him now in the Supreme.
Okie dokie. Yeah, very good horse. He looks like he will take all the beating in the first. I will go with let's do Tahupu in the Stayers Hurdle. Obviously won it last year. I think should have won it 2 years ago as well. It's a poor renewal. I think he's got the ground he'll like. Tahupu, I think, just wins a poor Stayers Hurdle for me.
For me,
Alan,
then
fire
next,
away, bud.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Obviously, they've opted to go Mears Hurdle with Lossymouth. I know she fell last time, but she does seem to still have a good class edge on the rest of the field. And at 2.5 mile, and hopefully the best horse in the race, I'm going to go for her.
Fair enough. Ruby, over to you. Your second selection, please, sir.
There's only one good thing left, so I'll take him, John Budd. I don't have any worries about him at the track. I think he's in better form coming here than he was going to the Arkle or the Supreme. He was really on the floor with James in the Clarence House. That was on the new course anyway, so it's irrelevant to what happens on the old course on Wednesday. So he's the one good thing left. I'll take him.
Okay, there you go. Love that. James, over to yourself, buddy. Who's your third selection?
I'm struggling here now. Nürburgring, is it?
Nürburgring, okay. Joseph O'Brien.
Yeah, won the Galway hurdle off a pound higher. I know it was over hurdles, but yeah, I think he'd probably been set up for this race. So yeah, I'll go for him in the 2.5 mile novice handicap.
Yeah. Nice price. Nice. Okay, I will go for Dino Blue in the Mare's Chase. I thought the only danger to her was Only by Night, who's been declared to run in the Arkle. She was second in it last year. I don't think she got outstayed. Just got maybe a horse just stayed a little bit better than her in the conditions and heavy conditions with Limerick Lace last year. But Dino Blue wins a poor Mare's Chase for Team Mullins. Alan, over to you, bud.
Yeah, Stumptown in the cross country. I thought he was mightily impressive last time. I understand that he wasn't fully wound up for the day. I know it's a race that has changed to a handicap, but I think I heard a stat that it still favours on previous run-ins, if they were ran as handicaps, would still favour the class horses in the race. And I think Stumptown is still unexposed.
Okie dokie. Good, cool. Ruby, over to you for selection number 3, please, bud.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping we get a drop of rain tomorrow night, Bash. But I think this is a really, really good horse. I loved him at the DRF. And I'm going to go with Final Demand in the Turner's Novice Hurdle. Would be liking a little bit of ease in the ground for him now. If it keeps drying and it turns into a speed race, I'd be worried. But I just think if we get a drop of rain, there's plenty of water on it. Final Demand. I'm liking the look of my tree. I prefer to ride my tree now than riding James's tree.
There you go.
I didn't spend much time with
your selection number 4. You're getting shots fired at you here. Pull a nice one out of the bag for us.
Am I allowed to go for one that's in the same race as you or not?
You most certainly are. As long as it's not the same horse, by all means, take us on.
Lucky Place in the Stayers Hurdle. He improved all last season and won his first 2. I rode him in the Coral last year and finished 4th and get the best to run round back. I think he'll stay 3 mile. I worked him last week and he's in good form. So hopefully, yeah, as you say, Tupu looks like he's probably got the best chance, but I'm struggling here. So Lucky Place, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I will go with my 4th horse, one of my favourite horses. It's Ballyburn in the Brown Advisory. Ruby, you told me about him going for this race at Dubai when we were over there with Racing Breaks at 12-1. I think he's now 6-4, but I think he's the class horse in the race. For me, Dancing City would have gone for the National Hunt Chase if this was last season. Ballyburn, the class act in the Brown Advisory, hopefully does the business. Over to you, Al.
I'm going to go with what I think might be the class act in the Triumph, and that is Lulamba. I know there's been a bit of money for East India Dock in recent weeks and he's shortened, but I thought that he obviously had a great reputation that Henderson was trying to play down before he went to Ascot. I thought he looked mightily impressive there, and he looked like he only switched on about 50 yards after the last and was very impressive, quickening away. So it's my next choice.
Okay, nice, cool. Over to you, Ruby.
I'm going to go for the only one, Bash, that I might ride at the whole festival, and that's because it doesn't have to leave the ground, and that'll be Coco Cabano in the bumper. I think I loved him at Navan, loved the way he kept going. Maybe Game of Inches might be a little bit quicker than him, but I loved the way Coco Cabana extended up the hill in Navan, the way he went through the line and round the bend. I think he's a straightforward horse to train, and I really like Copacabana.
Well, there you go. Strong selection. And I think I read somewhere, whether it's true or not, JP McManus has only had one bet this festival, and it's on Copacabana in the bumper. Over to you, James, for your fifth selection, please, bud.
I'm going to say the New Lion. I thought he's very impressive all season. Yeah, he's looked very good, and rode against him in Newbury, and yeah, I was on a good horse, and he felt like he left me for dust. So yeah, I'll go for him.
Yeah, I was on a preview with Dan Skelton the other day and could not have spoke more highly about him. Annoyed because he was going to be my next one. So I will sidestep and head to the Ryanair, where I will go for Fact to File. Obviously, the drop back in triple suit has got form with, for me, I've been into racing just after Courto Star finish. So for me, the best horse I've seen is Galloping de Champs, and Fact to File's pushed him close enough to suggest he will take all the beating for me in the Ryanair. Al, who's your fifth selection, bud?
I was actually thinking he might be the last short one to go, really.
I got there.
Yeah, well done. I'm going to go Would Who. I think she's running in the boys' race, the Martin Pipe, on the Friday, I've heard. Obviously, had a string of wins, or wherever, if not there, for the sake of this, we'll go wherever she goes. But obviously, a string of wins, impressive at Cheltenham last time. I know she had Joyers behind her. Maybe was slightly unfortunate with the trip round, but still looks progressive and hopefully still unexposed.
Okay, good shout, Woodhoe. Ruby, over to yourself, bud.
I think I'm going to go for Angels Dawn in the, I was going to say Fox Hunters, in the Hunter Chase.
Hunter Chase.
Yeah, won the Kimure, placed in the Kimure, qualified early in the season for Sam Curling for this race. Couple of good runs and handicap chases last year. For my money, from a purist point of view, she's probably not out of the chasing scene long enough to be running the Fox Hunters, but those are the rules and you play by the rules. So Angels Dawn is in the Hunter Chases now, and I think Angels Dawn would be the one for me.
Okay, perfect. What I will just say at this point is if any of you guys watching have got any questions, please put them in the chat box and we will all answer them at the end. Two selections left. James, you might be in a spot of bother. You got some strong fancies against you. What takes your fancy for selection number 6?
I'm going to go for Haiti Clear in the National Hunt Chase. Was impressive in its 2 novice chases at the start of the season, then looked like it was probably a bit of a prep run last time, ran well. Her Becky Curtis's horses are in good form. Favourite for this race. I think he'll nearly win, hopefully.
Yeah, I think he's got a cracking chance actually between him and Transmission for me. But yeah, I think he will take all the beating. For my 6th selection, I'm going to take on, who was it that put it up? Was it Mr. Walsh? No, it was. I'm going for East India Dock in the Triumph Hurdle. For me, looks a 3-horse race with Hello Neighbour and Lou Lamba. I think Lou Lamber's going to be the best horse next year, but in terms of being ready here and now, East India Dock, he's been there, he's done it. Obviously got the flat experience as well. I just think at the prices, you have to take on a horse who's only had one run in England. So it's East India Dock in the Triumph for my 6th selection. Over to you, Al, number 6.
I'm going to be slightly cynical here and take on my own selection earlier in an attempt to win this game. So I'm going to go Brighter Days Ahead in the Champion Hurdle. Is that possible? Can I do that? Why not, isn't it? Because I just think I'm going to win and finish second.
Listen, it's smart. You're playing the game.
Sorry if you're like looking for punting tips, because that's sort of anyway. Yeah, I think she's if anything beats Constitution Hill, I think it'll be her, and if not, she finished second. I think.
Ruby, what's your thoughts on that?
I had my 6th choice was Brighter Days Ahead, so I'm scratching out here. Do I go with? I know the way you're thinking for the same theory in the Gold Cup, but hey, who likes finishing second? So no, I'm not going to do that. East India Dock is gone. The Martin Pipe. Martin Pipe is still there. Voodoo is in there. Yeah, no.
You're going to have to reveal
the Albert Bartlett. Jasmine DeVoe.
Step Up and Trip. What's your reasoning behind it, Ruby? Give us some thoughts.
Class horse. He has his own way of jumping, but just going slower in the Albert Bartlett might suit him. The positioning of the new hurdles, even on the new course, would be a bit of a help. Leopardstown was never going to suit him. 5 hurdles down the back in Leopardstown now. He was never going to manage to get down over those in a reasonable fashion. Can jump like a camel at times, but I just think where the hurdles are, that'll suit him, and he is a class horse.
Okay, fair enough. Final round of selections. James, fire away, buddy.
Running out of options. I'm going to go for Django Bay in the Arkle. Stepping down in trip, I don't think that'll be a problem. I actually schooled him last week, and he's fair quick now from one side to the other of a fence. And yeah, it's also obviously Margeborough will be hard to beat, but I think the step down in trip might help if anything, but maybe he might not be good enough. But yeah, hopefully he can run all right anyway.
Well, you'll be getting 2 points for finishing second at best, because Marge was going to win the Arkle. I will go for my final selection. I will go 6.5 in the Mares Novice Hurdle for Gavin Cromwell. She was decent on the flat. She's had 1 run over hurdles, and she just looked a ball of speed. Vibe seemed to be very strong around her. I don't like Maureen, and the fact Ruby's not put up Maureen gives me more confidence with this selection. 6.5 for me in the Mares Novice Hurdle. Over to you, Al.
So I've got one. I don't even know if it's running in this race. Is there like a little slash I can put in for another horse, or do I have to like pick one? I just think Galilea Dame. I actually think she'd have a great chance of winning the Mares Novice Hurdle. I don't think she'd win the Triumph. Or she'll just keep.
I think they've said she's coming here.
Say again?
I think they have said she's going to come here.
Mares Novice.
Yeah.
I'll go for her then. I thought she ran with loads of promise behind Hello Neighbour, I think it was, at the DRF. Got a sympathetic ride. It was staying on strongly at the line. And I just think it's an open race for a horse who's shown that sort of form. I think she gets quite a lot of weight as well.
I think it's £10 4-year-old allowance, I think it is. Mm-hmm. Okay, good shout. Ruby, over to you for your final one, please, bud.
So if that Galileo Dame runs in the Triumph now, does that mean Alan's a non-runner?
Yeah.
Good. 7. I'm going to go for East India Dock in the Fred Winter. Not East India Dock. Beyond Your Dreams in the Fred Winter.
Nice. Joseph O'Brien's horse.
Yeah. Cheek pieces on. JJ's 11 rides. Was unlucky behind Total Luck at Nav, and it jammed on to jump the last. It did the same at Punchestown when it beat Slurricane. I think the cheap pieces are on the right day, and whilst it would be my worst nightmare to have to go to the start in the Fred Winter, I do think she's a great chance.
Yeah, I backed her about 10 days ago at 16-1. She's now into 6s, so the market support is there. But you're right, if she can sort out her jumping, she will fly up the hill.
She surely will.
She surely will. Okay, so now we need to pick. Let's think how we're going to do this. We need to pick a horse as our captain, and if they win, we get double points. But should we go for a horse which is not odds on? Any horse which is not odds on, you have to pick to do double points. James, do you know who you're going to go for?
The ones that I picked.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I picked now.
It's on the screen.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. As my captain, I'm gonna go. What? Not odds on.
Yeah, not odds on.
Picked many. I've only picked one odds on.
Yeah, fair play.
I'll say the Haiti Couleurs.
I thought you had to go the new line, but I'm going to take your first answer. Lock in Haiti Couleurs as your captain.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll do.
I will go Ballyburn, who isn't odds on. Ballyburn, the class act in the Brown Advisory, as my captain.
11 to 10.
Say again?
11 to 10. You just slipped that one in there.
Listen, rules are rules. Rules are rules.
Did you just make that rule up now? But anyway.
Who's making, isn't it?
Al, who are you picking, bud?
Lulamba.
Lamba. Nice. And over to you, Ruby.
I will go with Coca Cabana.
Yeah, you really like that horse, don't you?
I do.
Have you ever sat on him at home?
No, I haven't. But I do like him. He looks a fair one now. I like him, so I do. With a bit of luck.
Okay, fair enough. Let's just see if
How
we
much
have.
do we win, Bash, if we win this?
How much do you win? That will be decided by Will, who's the voice of God. You can't see him, but he is watching on here. Will, what is the what's the prize? I'm sure we've got a nice bottle of Susanna Ritchie's wine going for the winner. That'll do. Okay, fair enough. We will take that. Yeah, I'm not sure if we have any questions coming through. I'm just seeing Will's typing. Will you guys, James? Obviously, you can't ride. Will you still be there at Cheltenham?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I might go on the Tuesday, but other than that, I'd say I'll be watching from the TV anyway. Yeah, I'll be watching and being a racing fan for the week, I'd say.
There you go. Okay, fair enough. We have had a question come through from Trevor, who is a jockey to watch out for in the Martin Pipe. A good question. He wants to fire off with an answer.
Danny Gilligan is a fair advantage because he's still a conditional in the UK, even though he's not in Ireland. So he'd be a huge advantage in the Martin Pipe. That's an obvious one. Probably rides. Alan, did you go for Voodoo, did you?
Yeah.
Probably rides that. I mean, that's a huge advantage in that race.
James, Alan, anyone to look out for that you know of?
To be honest, not off the top of my head, really. I'm trying to scroll through to see who's jocked up, but there aren't many jocked up at the moment.
I think over here, I just Dylan Johnson's probably one of the best conditionals over here anyway. I won't know too much about Ireland, but yeah.
Okay, fair enough. We've had a question coming from Ed, and he's asking, what is the biggest differences between the old and the new course? Ruby, fire away with that one if you can, please.
The new course is much stiffer. You don't climb as high in the back straight. It's obviously on the inside, but you don't climb as high. It goes further on the top of the hill. The descent on the new course is much more gradual, and then you turn from home way further down the hill. So the new course is much stiffer than the old course. The old course turns a bit more, and it is faster. They are two different tracks. Hard to believe they're the same venue, but they are two completely different tracks.
James, did you have like a favourite to ride, whether it's the old or the new course?
Well, there's less jumps to jump on the new course, so that makes life a bit easier. But I think the old course, like you could probably jump two out and sail on way for home, whereas you can't really do that on the new course. So yeah, that's it really.
Okay, fair enough. We've had a question coming from Adam. Adam, if each of you guys could ride one horse at the festival, who would it be? Alan, I'll come to you first for that one. If you can get a ride on one horse this week, who would it be?
I'll probably go with, as I've gone with him throughout, Constitution Hill, but I think Gallop and Deschamps, probably between the two of them, really. They're just absolute beasts, aren't they? So I think Gallop and Deschamps is probably the more likely, actually, to slightly more question marks over Constitution Hill. So maybe I just go towards him a little bit in the end.
James, what about yourself, bud?
Yeah, I'd say Constitution Hill. Yeah, he's a superstar and unbelievable horse to watch in a race, and even at home seeing him, he's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruby, if one horse could bring you out of retirement, who would it be, bud?
Gallop and Deschamps, without doubt for me. But having said that, you probably want to have ridden him in his last two Gold Cups to say you're on a horse that won three. So, but Gallop and Deschamps, I just think he's so straightforward. He's so reliable. He's so consistent. 3 years on the bounce. I think he's brilliant. I look. Everyone has their own views. Bash, people are giving out in Cheltenham as this, that, and the other. But I think there's some brilliant racing there this week and some brilliant horses on display.
Yeah, fair enough. Question come in. Bash, where's the best place to watch the racing as a punter? I think the beauty about Cheltenham is there's so many different places you can watch the racing from. I like the steps on the new stand, which is sort of in line with the last. You can obviously head up a little bit further down to more towards the finishing line. I tend to always watch like the Hunters Chase in the Guinness Village. There's always a crazy atmosphere in there, but I would say my advice would be to walk around and yeah, find whichever view you like experience the racing from different views. We've had a question come in asking you guys, who do you think we're presuming here Willie Mullins will be top trainer. Who do you think will be second? Alan, who do you think, bud?
Well, I think Henderson has a great chance. He's got a lot of real fancied runners, and I think he'll have a great week, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. James, who do you think is sticking law with Nicky?
Yeah, I probably will stick with him. I think Joseph O'Brien has a few that have good chances as well. But yeah, probably stick with Henderson. Yeah.
What about yourself, Ruby?
Joseph's a good shout. He has a couple of horses that are really well handicapped. Gordon has a big team. Gavin Cromwell. And you can't fucking rule out that Henry LeBron when it comes to Cheltenham either. He crops over highest. But also, yeah. July Flower has a squeak in the Mayor's Hurdle. Jungle Boogie's a squeak in the Ryanair. Work ahead in the first. Like, he's won champion chasers with horses that weren't related to champion chasers. He gets his horses bang on form. So I'd probably back two bash. I think James is right. Joseph O'Brien definitely has 4 or 5 horses that are well handicapped. And that Henry de Bromhead just seems to train winners here with horses who shouldn't really be winning there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Seems as well that a trainer that he may not always be in form in December and January, and maybe have a few horses that are slightly overlooked coming into the festival and maybe outperform what people expect a little bit at times.
Yeah, for sure. We have a question in from Tim. Ruby, where does Kopek Demi run and why is he not in your A team? Good question.
Because I don't know where he runs. If he runs in the county, he'll have to take on McLaury and Cargeese and a few more. If he runs in the Martin Pipe, he'd have to take on Woodhoo, who I think is really well treated. So for that reason, I didn't stick him in. He goes well, but I think he'd want to drop a rain bash. So
Okay.
when JP McManus wasn't bulling about him in the paper this morning, he owns him.
Okay, fair enough. And actually, I'm just going to ask you. You've touched on Cargeese there. I really like her for the county. How is she?
She's in great form. Yeah, I'd imagine that's where she'll go. She wasn't at Mayor's Hurdle, so I don't think she has another entry. Well, I hope she doesn't. Carl Cup be too far for her. I hope she runs in the county.
I'm sure she's just in the county. But yeah, like, do you think, because she was obviously really gassy last time out at Ascot, just having that one run, will that bring her on?
Oh, big time. Take the gas and the fizz out of her trip over to England. She looks really well, and I think she's a good mare.
Bash, I've got a question for you.
Oh, go on.
Have you got any of your honest days punting lined up for Cheltenham? Are you doing that like a couple of the days, or what's the plan there?
All 4 days, Al. You know it. All 4 days. The Honest Days punting will be on Twitter, Instagram, and my YouTube. I try and get it on the bus on the way home. The Wi-Fi is not normally great, but yeah, there'll be loads of content, and it's going to be great fun. It's the best week of the year. What is it? Christmas Eve today.
So for you, what are your you obviously do a bit of anti-post betting and different bets in different ways. What are your sort of big wins for the week? What are you really looking forward to?
Well, the thing is that I put a post up on Twitter the other day and got absolute pelted for it, which is a shock on Twitter actually. But I like to double things up beforehand. So I like to have majority of all my bets placed before the week. So for example, we've spoke about Marshborough, we've spoke about all these shorties that should be winning. I'm not a punter that wants to absolutely smash into an odds-on shot. I don't have the nerves or the bottle for it. So I've been doubling things up with it. So all of those shorties I'm in a nice position with. But I think for me, half of the enjoyment about Cheltenham is you have the anti-post interest. So as I said, when me and Ruby were in Dubai in March, I backed Ballyburn at 12 for the Browns. I did have Brighter Days ahead at 17-2 for the Mares. So yeah, I'm a bit pig sick about that one. But I want 14-1 on the new line for the Turners. For me, that's half the enjoyment, is getting those early prices and trying to find the value. But I think it's important as well, For example, I backed Romeo Cooley at the beginning of the season. Even though I've backed him, you still have to like change your opinion, and I've accepted co-competitive boards will win the Supreme, so got stuck into him. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be great, and yeah, all available on my socials. So thank you for that, Al. Good plug. But yeah, if no one else has got any other questions, what we will do is we'll wrap it up here. If you guys keep an eye out on all of this, the Racing Break socials, we will have a running update at the end of each day. Who is in the lead? I'm confident I'm going to come out on top. But thank you very much to Alan, James, and Ruby for joining.
I think Bash. I think we'll have to have a 5-minute recap when this is all over to explain what happened.
Okay, I agree. And I'll have a crown on.
You can't just stick them out there without justifying how wrong you were.
Okay. All right. I'm in agreement. We'll do that, Ruby. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate you're all really busy this time of year. And again, if anyone does want any more information about having shares in a racehorse, please go to basherwattsracing.com or just drop me a DM on my socials. But guys, have a fantastic week. Everyone who's going to be joining us with Racing Breaks, enjoy it. Let's hope you back some winners. And guys, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.